What's up, guys? Super Dark Water on the channel. I have to apologize. I didn't upload this past weekend. I didn't make enough videos. I didn't plan my time very well. And if you've seen my second channel, Super Dark Water Videos, I quit smoking weed after 7 years of addiction. So I'm kind of going through some changes, but I'm getting back to daily uploads. I figured out that if I don't upload every day, then I won't hold myself accountable to, even if I take one day off. So I can't take any more days off. This is my promise to you guys. I'm going to upload every day, no matter how terrible I feel. Anyway, let's get into this review. So Batman Detective Comics, Curse of ClayFace, and then it says, gasp at the gruesome origin of Batman's foulest foe. So I automatically picked this up, obviously, because I'm always picking up Detective Comics. I've been reading it for over a year now, and this is the annual, so it's $4.99, but it's a little bit thicker. I really like this book. I thought it was just going to be okay, but it ended up being one of my favorite books of this year so far. It's written by James Tynion IV, who is a mixed bag, but he's a pretty good writer, but sometimes it's like eh. And then the art is by Eddie Barrows, and he also did the cover, which is one of my favorite things about comic books. I love when they do the same artist on the inside of the comic book as the cover. So also, but what is going on? Is this a print mess up, like all these lines, or is that how it's supposed to be? It's weird, right? Anyway, but yeah, so you got ClayFace looking humongous, and I really like the way he draws Batman. I think this is actually an older costume. Can't really tell, but it looks like it's an older costume. Doesn't look like the Rebirth costume because of the bat looks different. Looks more like Frank Miller's Batman, but the belt looks the same as the Rebirth Batman, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, awesome cover. I love the dialogue on the cover. That's a classic comic book trope. I love comics that have that. So you get Basil Carlo, who is ClayFace, and he's just a little kid, and it says many years ago, and he's looking up at all these monster masks. This story is called Clay, and I love this, like all these like film strips, because it's talking about how his dad is a monster mask movie maker, and he wants to be just like his dad, but he's kind of creeped out by his dad at the same time. His dad's kind of just telling him to, he's showing him how he makes his masks, but then he ends up saying something about, oh son, don't ever let the world see the true monster inside. Like, you have to show them a kind face, but he ends up showing him a really creepy face, and it looks like Jack Nicholson's Joker from the 1989 Batman. But yeah, that's all like a wax that he put on his face. And then yeah, so this is all just a flashback, and it's just kind of showing how psychotic ClayFace's dad was, and how it really affected him growing up. Look at him, he's like so I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of things I'm forgetting to say, but I'll keep on trucking. So 20 years later, Basil Carlo is a big movie star in Hollywood, and he's talking with his agent, and he gets a call from Gloria Griffin, which is his girlfriend at the time. And okay, so this part's so like cool and creepy. He's like, oh, that PA from Metamorphosis, his agent is talking to him about Gloria. He's like kind of downplaying her. She's just a PA and whatever. So she's like, that PA from Metamorphosis, come on, Baze, you gotta shake her before she sees what you really are. And he's like, what? And like, so that part to me, I was like, okay, that was like the first hint that he's a monster, like inside, you know, because he's like, oh, a movie star, baby, you're a movie star. But Basil thought he was referring to like his like in his innermost who he is, like he's a monster deep down, but he looks like a movie star, right? So then they're in Hollywood, or cuts to him and Glory, his girlfriend, in Hollywood, and they're just talking about his new film opportunities. He's going to be in a new movie, and then he's driving his fast, super nice sports car down PCH, and he gets a phone call, and he finds out his dad passed away, and then he crashes, wakes up in the hospital, and he becomes the monster that he really is on the inside. Because the monster that he is like a selfish, person seeking only for himself to be, you know, just classic Hollywood celebrity selfishness. So his agent and his girlfriend are like looking at him. They're like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And he's like, "I said, don't look at me." So he's like freaking out, obviously, because he's a movie star and he's not going to be able to be in his movies anymore. And then he goes to his dad's apartment in this like green cloak, and the landlord is like, "Oh, I thought his son was a movie star. You don't look like a movie star." And so this is just such a tragic, awesome tale. Like, I want to see this in an animated version or something. So he finds the clay stuff that his dad used to make the monster movie masks, and he puts it on his face, and he's able to disguise himself back to look like Basil Carlo. And so he shows up to the meeting of the new movie with the director that his agent's at, and he's like, "I think I look better than ever, don't you?" After his agent was like telling the director that he wasn't going to be able to be in it. And then he's like he's like counting the stash that he has of the wax, that the clay stuff that his dad made. But he says he doesn't have enough for the movie to get through the whole production. And then you get this really awesome cut to Batman in Gotham City. And yeah, it definitely is an older version of the costume, which is cool. Because look at the belt, it's different there. It's like how it was in Hush. This actually looks like the same exact costume from Hush. If you haven't read that, go check it out. It's by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. It's actually what got my dad back into comic books again. So he's kind of meeting Commissioner Gordon, typical. They're just talking about detective stuff and how there's been people breaking into the major clay company or whatever it is, like the industrial clay wax that his dad was using for the monster masks. The company is getting broken into by different people, but they suspect that it's all the same person. So Batman shows up to the final warehouse for the company and finds ClayFace there, or Basil Carlo, disguised as a security guard, and he punches him. And then Batman sees his true face after he punches him, and he's like, "Oh God." So even Batman is like disturbed by ClayFace's disgusting car crash face. But yeah, he wakes up, and the director comes and says that she was going to keep him in the movie regardless of his deformed face, but he deceived her by putting on the wax to make this like fake face, and she said that she could tell the difference because it was all about the look in his eyes, and you could just tell it was like he wasn't the same. So she fired him from the movie. So he had an opportunity to do it, even though his face looked like that, and he screwed it up. Then Batman shows up again, and he kind of warns him. He's like the Grim Reaper, and I love these like rivets on his cape. It looks so cool. And the lightning in the background, like, wow, this is just classic Batman showing up right outside the window. And he says, "You're not a monster, Basil. You're just a man, sad and afraid of what your life might become, lashing out because you feel trapped and alone." So he's trying to help him, but obviously he's ClayFace is pissed. And so then he goes to district attorney office, and he like holds this woman hostage, and because he's trying to get all of the clay, the wax stuff, because I guess it was like illegal or something, or they banned it. So they seized it, and he went to go steal it from the district attorney's office, and the cops end up shooting the pile of jars of wax clay stuff, and because they said that the owner of the company is handing out a big bonus to anyone that can make sure he doesn't get it. And then that's kind of the origin of ClayFace. So he turns into ClayFace because there's huge explosions and the wax clay gets all over him. But they think he just died because he just kind of melts into the ground. But you see him be like, so he's become a sentient clay being. And then back at the movie production, they get some other actor that looks like Basil to play the guy, and then Batman shows up and he's like, "You need to run now." It's so cool, such an awesome shot with his cape flying up like that. And then so ClayFace shows up, and he's like, "Hey Batman, I made my choice," and he's like, pissed off. He's trying to ruin the movie production. He's like just saying you know, he's accepting the monster that he is, and you get this really awesome artwork of ClayFace. And I love the glowing eyes and the teeth, look so cool. And then his girlfriend, she's trying to tell him that he's not a monster, but he just says, "Don't you get it, Glory? There's a monster inside of everybody." That's my ClayFace voice. So he's like, "Don't you believe me? Here, let me show you. Let me show you all." And I think she becomes like Lady ClayFace or something like that. And then it cuts back to him and his dad watching monster movies. And he says, "Do you promise me, boy? Promise to never let them see them?" And he's like referring to the hideous monster that he is. And he says, "Yeah, Dad, I promise." And he's crying. So it's just a really emotional, like, good comic book. Like, I was really impressed by this, like the artwork and the writing. So yeah, go check this out. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know if you didn't like it. Turn the bell on for notifications, and go check out my new vlog channel, Super Dark Water Videos. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.